placing it on sites like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Now, you might be asking, why is it worth producing video content? Well, if I were to ask you what the second largest search engine next to Google is, what would you say? Yahoo? Bing? Well, it's actually YouTube. This makes YouTube an incredibly valuable resource for driving brand awareness and traffic to your website. Video marketing can be used to show off your location, your products, or even help customers through their buying decision. You might make a video to tell your brand's story, or create your own commercial and use it to advertise on top of related content. A well-titled and described video can appear in Google search results as well, driving yet another opportunity for people to discover your brand. Now, there are several companies whose success was hinged on viral videos, but two come to mind: Dollar Shave Club and Blendtec. Dollar Shave Club is an online subscription for razor blades. The company saw impressive growth after they posted a comedic viral video on YouTube. Within the first 48 hours of posting the video, they had over 12,000 new customers. And in the first 3 months, they racked up over 4.5 million video views. The video went on to generate press mentions, social media shares, and even case studies like this one. The fact Dollar Shave Club recently sold for $1 billion to Unilever reinforces the potential value of a video. Now, Dollar Shave Club orchestrated the effort. They planned the entire video out and designed it to resonate with their target market. Instead of a typical short video about their product, they told the story through an unexpected video montage. They hired the right team to produce it, and quality was paramount. Another brand that you may have seen on YouTube is Blendtec. Their founder, Tom Dixon, created a YouTube video series called Will It Blend? And he puts everything from bricks to golf balls into his blender to prove it's one of the best blenders you can buy. The videos were a direct response to customers curious if the Blendtec would blend things well. And he jumps onto new trends as well. When the new iPhone was released, he made sure it was dropped straight into the blender. Tom keeps uploading new movies and now has over 850,000 subscribers to his channel. It's been over 11 years of the same style of video, yet fans continue to share videos to their friends and engage with the brand by suggesting what should be blended next. There is a huge potential to build video content that will resonate with your audience, but your focus doesn't have to be to go viral. You may decide video marketing is ideal because it'll help you along in your sales journey. Or maybe answering questions via YouTube will reinforce your brand's commitment to customer service. You can introduce videos that demonstrate your product or service, or feature team introductions. It's possible customers or competitors are already making videos about your product or services. If that's the case, there's even more reason to jump in and leverage the power of video marketing. The best impact from video marketing will come from and unique content. As we continue in this chapter, we'll take a closer look at how to get set up on YouTube and the best practices for creating your own videos. One of the best places to start your video marketing effort is on YouTube. But before we start setting up our account, let's take a look at what we'll be creating. Now, I've gone ahead and pulled up the LinkedIn Learning Solutions YouTube channel. Now, this is much like the same profile pages we've been seeing on other social media networks. Here we can see a cover photo, the logo of the brand, the name of the channel or the brand, and there's a large icon on the right-hand side which allows me to subscribe to this channel. Subscribing provides me with notifications anytime new content is published. From here, we have some navigation options. I can view the home page, which is the page that LinkedIn has built and customized to their needs. They've added a default video here at the top, and they've also included various playlists that they find most important and popular for people arriving at their channel page. You'll also notice that I can interact with these tabs. I can select videos, which takes me to all of the videos that they've uploaded, playlists, which allows me to see all of the playlists that they've curated. And a playlist allows the content creator to put multiple videos into this bucket, and when someone clicks in, it keeps that content organized and they can watch it sequentially. We can also select into community to see if they've posted any text content. And if I select into channels, we'll see any other channels that they feature. In this case, they have channels in different languages. The About section is where you can include personalized descriptions about the brand, details, and links outside of YouTube. Now, most users find your content through the YouTube search. They don't typically arrive directly on your channel page unless they're looking specifically for you. The value of YouTube is that people will discover your content when they're searching. Let's say, for example, I'm looking for how to roast coffee. I'll go ahead and conduct that search. And now we can see all of the results available to us. Now, you may also see paid advertisements appear in this list. As people follow more content and interact, they're going to spend a lot of time on the homepage of YouTube. And this is going to show trending content as well as channels that you follow. Let's get started by setting up our YouTube business account. Now, with most things Google, once you've created a Google account, you're typically logged in to that product when you visit it. In this case, I'm logged in as Henry Twill, which means I essentially already have the ability to start building out my channel. What I'll do after selecting my icon in the upper right-hand corner is choose My Channel. Here's where YouTube is going to ask us if we want to use YouTube as us, in this case, Henry Twill, or if we'd like to use a business, which is what I want to do. So I'll select Use a Business or Other Name here towards the bottom of this box. We'll go ahead and enter in our brand account name and choose Create. And just like that, we've set up our first YouTube channel. We want to get started by choosing Customize Channel in the upper right-hand corner. It's here that we begin to build out the page, just like the page that we saw with LinkedIn. I'll start by selecting Add Channel Art. Your channel art is very much like the cover photo that you have on Facebook, as well as the cover art that you have on Twitter. Once you're in here, you can drag a photo or select a photo from your computer. You'll have the opportunity to resize it, and then you'll choose Save. I'm going to go ahead and select Cancel. I'll let you do that on your own. At the same time, you can hover over the pencil icon of the silhouette in the upper left-hand corner, which allows you to edit your channel icon. Now, at this point, Google's going to take you out into their aboutme.google.com section. And this allows you to sync all of the data that you set up about your brand with other services. So here is where you're actually going to set that brand logo. I'm just going to go ahead and close out of this, but know that you can select the pencil icon here or hover over the camera icon and edit that information directly. Next, we should add some information about our brand. I'll select the About tab, and then we can select the plus icon next to channel description. And here's where we want to include our description about this channel. You should describe your brand very accurately and include any relevant information that you want to display to a user. You also have the option to click the plus icon next to For Business Inquiries, which allows you to provide your email address where you can be contacted. You can also add in additional links, which will drive traffic away from YouTube. This can go to your other social media accounts or even your website. And finally, I'll go back to the homepage, and let's assume that we've started adding content. Once we've finished adding content, we can start to add sections. And I'll do that by selecting Add a Section. And now we can choose the content. And here we have the ability to select all kinds of content, our popular uploads, any playlists, subscriptions, or recent activities. And we can decide how we want this information to be laid out. This is great because it allows you to build a very robust landing page for your video content. I recommend that you organize things into playlists when you're just getting started and help people understand where your most popular and prominent content is, so if they do arrive on this channel page, say from your website, they can navigate the sections that you think are most important to them. From here, we need to look at what's known as our Creator Studio. I'll select my icon in the upper right-hand corner and choose Creator Studio from the drop-down that appears. It's here in the Creator Studio that we manage our YouTube account. You notice in the upper right-hand corner, you have the upload icon, and that's how you get your video content directly into YouTube. Selecting that allows me to drag and drop our files, or we can import it from Google Photos if we're using that. I'll choose Back to go back into Creator Studio. Here's where we can see our analytics, the videos that we've uploaded, any tips, and manage our comments. Beyond gaining video views organically, you might want to run some paid video promotions. And you can do that either by running your video as an advertisement in front of other videos, or as a recommended video in search, or even after someone watches selected content. Let's assume that we want to promote this commercial from H+ Sport. In order to do that, we'll have to go back into AdWords. The first thing I'm going to do is copy the URL of the video that I want to promote, and this will be important in just a minute. Next, I'm going to tab over into AdWords. Here, we are in the dashboard of our AdWords account, and we'll start by going to Campaigns on the left-hand side, selecting the plus icon, and then choosing New Campaign. From here, it's as simple as choosing the video campaign type. Next, we'll select the goal. In this case, I'm going for video views, so I'll select brand awareness and reach. From here, we can choose the campaign subtype, which is where we want to decide if we want standard awareness or outstream. Now, you'll want to read more about these two options, and you can do that by selecting Learn More, which will provide you with deeper insights into which of these fits your goals. I'm going to leave it set as standard awareness and choose Continue. This is going to look almost identical to the campaigns that we've set up before. We start by giving it a name, identifying our budget, and we can review any additional settings. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that the bidding strategy is on a CPV, which is cost per view. And this is the default bidding strategy. Instead of paying per click, you're going to be paying per view. Now, what's nice about cost per view bidding is that a view is only counted when someone watches 30 seconds of your video ad, or the duration if it's shorter than 30 seconds, or they interact with the ad, whichever comes first. I'll scroll down, and we'll start by creating our ad group. And here's where we set the maximum CPV. As I scroll down, much like we had with display advertising, our ad group. For the duration per click, one thing that you'll notice are goals. I'm going to leave it set as outstream and reach. From here, we can choose the campaign subtype, which is where we want to decide if we want standard awareness or outstream. Now, you'll want to read more about these two options, and you can do that by selecting Learn More, which will provide you with deeper insights into which of these fits your goals. I'm going to leave it set as standard awareness and choose Continue. This is going to look almost identical to the campaigns that we've set up before. We start by giving it a name, identifying our budget, and we can review any additional settings. Now, one thing that you'll notice is that the bidding strategy is on a CPV, which is cost per view. And this is the default bidding strategy. Instead of paying per click, you're going to be paying per view. Now, what's nice about cost per view bidding is that a view is only counted when someone watches 30 seconds of your video ad, or the duration if it's shorter than 30 seconds, or they interact with the ad, whichever comes first. I'll scroll down, and we'll start by creating our ad group. And here's where we set the maximum CPV. As I scroll down, much like we had with display advertising, we can identify the people that we want to target, as well as the keywords, topics, and placements. You'll want to spend time getting this configuration right. This is where you identify the exact target audience that you want to receive this video. And finally, we'll have to create the ad itself. I'm going to paste in the URL of the video that we want to promote, and now we have the ability to decide what format we want this video to appear in. At any time, if you'd like to learn more about each format, simply hover over the question mark. Now, the in-stream ad is what you're likely most familiar with. Before you start watching another piece of content, YouTube is going to run a commercial. If your content works as a standalone commercial, this is a great place to put it, but it needs to be short. The next type is a video discovery ad. Now you'll notice that Google is not actually going to allow me to select this type because of the subtype or goal that I selected. However, depending on the goals that you chose earlier, this may be available to you. And the video discovery ad is where your video content shows up in search. So this format is ideal if your video does not work as a standalone commercial, but is instead a long-form piece of content that you want someone to find when they're conducting a search query. Now, all ads allow people to click through to your website, so make sure you add in your final URL as well as a display URL. And you're going to have the ability to include a companion banner for those that are on desktop devices. And this is a small display advertisement that shows up alongside your ad. Now, Google can automatically generate this using content from your channel, or you can upload a custom image. Once you're done, you'll simply choose Save and Continue. From there, it'll be much like all of the other ads that you've created before. Now, promoting YouTube videos can bring in some really great results, and cost per views are relatively inexpensive, typically between 2 cents to 6 cents. So be sure to use the right targeting, start with a small market, and as always, continue testing until you find that winning combination. To many, email marketing feels a little old and antiquated. It almost comes across very similar to direct mail, in that you're sending a newsletter, an offer, a flashy postcard, alongside dozens of other letters in the hopes that someone not only reads it, but responds to it. And sure, the older model of email marketing was a lot like that. Marketers purchased giant lists of email addresses and then sent completely irrelevant offers in hopes of catching a handful of leads, and thus the boom of spam. And while that still happens, the modern marketer is turning to their own email list to drive interaction and revenue. And this is because many customers welcome communication from brands they already interact with, just like our own acceptance and use of snail mail coupons from businesses we frequent. Today's email marketing is typically built on a list of users who have subscribed to receive communication from you. They're interested in hearing what you have to say and potentially getting a special offer not available elsewhere. On one hand, your email marketing efforts will be about acquiring new subscribers to your list, and on the other, retaining and generating revenue from those subscribers. With email marketing, you can inform existing customers of new products, upsell them to a more premium package, or even encourage them to share your business with their peers. Email is very much alive in today's online marketing landscape, so it's worth building a strategy around. Now, email marketing is very strategic. Each message needs to be carefully crafted, include a strong call to action, and arrive at just the right moment to get noticed. If it's not relevant, it gets deleted. Think about your own email habits. What are you opening? And why? What are you clicking on? You might even consider keeping track of every marketing email you open over the next couple of weeks, or even looking back at those you opened historically. Try to identify patterns and use those ideas to your advantage. Good email marketing is built on customer segments. Anytime you acquire an email, you should track where that email came from. If you have the resources, it would be ideal to also track which emails made purchases. How much revenue did that email drive? And even associate demographics or persona information if you have it. For example, I might have multiple email lists for an online storefront. I can have a list of customers that made a purchase in the last 30 days, customers that have made repeat purchases, and a list of people who added an item to their cart but never converted. Each of those segments would receive a different email from me. Good email marketing is hinged on the idea of a drip campaign. So for our abandoned segment, I might send an email in the first 24 hours that says, hey, you still have an item in your cart. There's only one step left to checking out. Maybe 72 hours later, I'll drop another email. Free shipping, today only, with the coupon code SHIPFREE. View your cart now. And the following week, I might try one last desperate attempt with another coupon, a reminder of their cart, or some additional information on the company and why it's so great. And that's just one example of many. Automated email marketing is a must-have in today's digital landscape. There's so much potential revenue sitting in your email list. To get the most value out of email, You won't be using a typical email client. Instead, you'll need to leverage an online provider, such as MailChimp or Constant Contact. These systems will let you tailor your lists, set up automatic triggers, and track results. And we'll talk more on this later. Email marketing is still a valuable tool. Focus on generating your own email list versus purchasing one, and you'll likely see much better results. To get the most out of email, you'll want to build a plan that is tailored to your target audience. And I know, I'm starting to sound a bit like a broken record, but being targeted is incredibly important. Before we get into the emails you're sending, let's talk first about the acquisition of email subscribers. How are you gaining new members to your list? Common techniques are to include an email sign-up link on the important pages of your website, or even in your footer. You can use a lead generation page to capture information or exchange a coupon for their email when they first visit the site. Explore email lead generation through social media. Sites like Twitter have lead generation tweets, and Google will let you run advertisements where users can leave an email address directly. Once you understand how you'll capture the audience, think about the actual email strategy itself. Start by identifying your goals. It's okay to have several. In the last movie, we identified some customer segments, but those segments were actually designed around a goal that we had in mind. A goal might be to generate more sales, to increase signups for a conference, or to reactivate a former customer. Make a list of your goals, and then make note of what audience will most likely fulfill that goal for you. The audience you identify will become a customer segment, and you'll load that segment into your email tool. From there, put yourself in the shoes of your customer. What do they need from you in order to take action? What will motivate them to follow through with the objective? You might find that many customers need a handful of emails before they'll take action. And in that case, you might design a campaign that has 3 or 4 steps before your big ask. Once you know what your customer needs, build your content to support that answer. It might be an image, a video, testimonials, or even detailed instructions on how to complete a step in the conversion process. As with most things, short and sweet is key. The content needs to be compelling, the subject engaging, and the call to action apparent. The design shouldn't hamper the experience. If you're reaching a young, extremely mobile audience, you might speak to them through the use of emojis. Whereas if you're targeting a small business owner, a clean and modern appearance might win out. Test your design on mobile and desktop. Good content will be lost if the email doesn't load properly on mobile. Next, identify how the consumer will interact with your email. Most of your audience will be reading this on a mobile device, but use your existing analytics to verify that belief. Make sure to outline any special considerations for mobile users. Use smaller images, bigger buttons, and you want to make sure that your landing page is mobile optimized. Lastly, consider your timing. How often do you need to send your message? Is it best distributed during the day or at night? Is it seasonal? Now, there's no magic answer here. You'll have to use your data to help guide you in this decision. If you're just starting out with your email marketing, you might not have enough to fully understand the opportunities. In that case, make educated guesses and stick to broad appeal offers until you've collected more subscribers.